In today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this adorable sensory toy bear. What makes him special is this interactive slide and stretch design. For this project I'm using yarn in 4 different colors with a weight of about 3.5 to 4 millimeters. I'll be using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook to keep the stitches nice and tight. We're going to start with the bear's body. Grab your lighter brown yarn and let's begin making a foundation chain of 15 stitches. Once you have 15, add 1 extra chain, that's our turning chain. For row 1, work 1 single crochet into each of the 15 chains across. When you reach the end, chain 1 and turn your work. Now for rows 2 and 3, simply repeat the process. 15 single crochets across, followed by a turning chain. In row 4, we'll continue with our 15 single crochets, but pay close attention to the very last stitch. To get a perfectly seamless color transition to the darker brown, don't finish the last stitch with the lighter brown. Instead, drop the lighter brown yarn and pull the darker brown thread through the last 2 loops on your hook to finish the stitch. Now we're ready for the darker brown section. From row 5 all the way to row 16, we'll stay with the darker brown yarn and just keep working 15 single crochets in each row, always adding a turning chain at the end of every row. Now let's give our bear his head shape by doing some decreases. In row 17 we're going to skip the very first stitch and work 13 single crochets. We'll also skip the last stitch of the row, which leaves us with a total of 13 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Row 18 is a simple row of 13 single crochets. Again, chain 1 and turn. For row 19, we'll decrease again. Skip the first stitch, work 11 single crochets across and skip the last stitch. You should now have 11 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Finally, in row 20, work 11 single crochets across, fasten off, and you're done with the first body panel. Remember, you'll need 2 of these panels for the final assembly. Now let's move on to the most important part of the project, the ear and leg unit. We're going to crochet the ear, the leg and the foot all in one piece, which later builds the sliding mechanism. For the ear and the foot, we will close every round with a slip stitch and a chain, before starting the next round. The leg itself, we will crochet in continuous rounds without closing every row. We'll start at the top with the ear. In dark brown, begin with a magic ring and work 6 single crochets into it. Finish with a slip stitch into the first single crochet and a chain. For round 2, we're going to double our stitches by working an increase in every stitch around. also in the one we just used for closing the round, giving us a total of 12. Slip stitch and chain. In round 3, the pattern is 1 single crochet, then 1 increase. Repeat this all the way around for 18 stitches. Slip stitch and chain. Now for rounds 4 and 5, simply work 18 single crochets, 1 in each stitch around, always ending with a slip stitch and a chain. In round 6, we'll start closing the ear. Work 1 single crochet, then 1 decrease, meaning we're going to combine 2 stitches into 1. It's very simple. Insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Now insert your hook into the following stitch as well and pull up another loop. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops at once. Repeat the pattern of 1 single crochet and 1 decrease all the way around until you have 12 stitches left. Close the round with a slip stitch and a chain. For round 7, decrease in every stitch until you back down to 6 stitches. Close the round with a slip stitch and a chain. And don't fasten off. We're moving straight into the leg. We'll work in continuous rounds of 6 single crochets, meaning we will not close every round as before. We just keep crocheting single crochets after single crochets. Keep going until the leg reaches your desired length. I like to make mine about twice as long as my body. Once you're happy with the length, finish the last round with a slip stitch and a chain. For the foot, we start by doubling our stitches by working an increase in every stitch around. Slip stitch and chain. We should now have 12 stitches. In the next round, the pattern is 1 single crochet, then 1 increase. Repeat this all the way around for 18 stitches. Slip stitch and chain. Now for rounds 3 and 4, simply work 18 single crochets, 1 in each stitch around, always ending with a slip stitch and a chain. In round 5, we start closing the foot. Work 1 single crochet, then 1 decrease, just as we did with the ear. Add fiber fill into the foot to make it firm. Now we decrease in every stitch, which leaves us with 6 stitches. Fasten off and close the foot. Repeat this entire process one more time so you have two identical ear-leg units. Now the foot needs a cute little paw. For this we start with a magic ring using the lighter brown and work 6 single crochets into the ring. Close the round with a slip stitch, fasten off and leave a long yarn tail. With this we attach the round disc to the foot . And with the rest we add 3 little paw pads that will complete our paw. Next up we're going to crochet the arms. In dark brown, begin with a magic ring and work 6 single crochets into it. Finish with a slip stitch into the first single crochet and a chain. For round 2, we're going to double our stitches by working an increase in every stitch around. Also in the one we just used for closing the round, giving us a total of 12. Slip stitch and chain. In round 3 and 4, simply work 12 single crochets. Slip stitch and chain. In round 5 we start closing the hand by decreasing every stitch. Next we add the long part of the arm. Work 3 rounds with 6 single crochets, always closing with a slip stitch and a chain. Fasten off and leave along a yarn tail for assembly later. For the paw we do the same as with the foot. First, make a disc with the lighter brown using a magic ring and 6 single crochets, and then close the round with a slip stitch and fasten off, leaving along a yarn tail to add the disc to the hand and also adding the 3 little paw pads. Now we start with the face. For the snout, we start with 3 chains and then a 4th as our turning chain. Now we work back by making 1 single crochet into the 2nd chain from the hook and 1 single crochet into the next chain. In the very last chain, we make 3 single crochets to get a curve. Now we go back to the other side of the foundation chain and add 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And then we end the round by making 2 single crochets into the very first chain we worked with. Just go into the next stitch, which leaves us with a total of 3 single crochets in that stitch. Close the round with a slip stitch and a chain, making it a perfect oval shape. To explain, in the first and third chains, we have 3 single crochets each, and the second chain has 1 single crochet on each side, so we end up with 8 stitches. Now we increase to 10 stitches. We will put those increases on each side. Start by making 1 single crochet into each stitch for 3 stitches. Then do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Increase. Again, make 1 single crochet into each stitch for 3 stitches. And another increase by making 2 single crochets into the 1 stitch. Slip stitch and chain to end the round. Now we have 10 stitches. We'll do another increase to reach 12. Start by crocheting 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Increasing with 2 single crochets into the 1 stitch, and then again 1 single crochet for the next 4 stitches, and 2 single crochets in the last stitch. Close with a slip stitch, fasten off and leave a longer yarn tail to attach the snout to the face. With black yarn we make a triangle shape for the nose itself. To get that clean professional look, use a fan technique. Insert the needle into the same hole at the bottom and spread the stitches out at the top. This creates a natural triangle shape without any gaps. Now the eyes. With white yarn we crochet 2 discs, starting with a magic ring and work 6 single crochets into it. Fasten off, leave a longer yarn tail to attach it to the face. With black yarn, make a little pupil, whatever you think looks best for your bear. I went with a kind of a circle I created by going through the middle and the bottom of the disc a couple of times. Do the same with both eyes. Stuff the snout with some fiber fill and attach it to the face. Next, attach the eyes and our bear has a cute little face. Before we join everything together, we need to give our bear some volume. To do this, we're going to create a little fabric inlay for both body panels. Grab some fabric scraps and cut 2 pieces to fit our body panels. Pro tip, make sure the fabric is slightly smaller than the crocheted body. We need to leave the edge stitches free because we'll be crocheting through them later to close the bear. If the fabric covers the holes at the edge, it will be very difficult to finish. Now place 1 fabric piece onto the inside of a body panel. Using a needle and any thread, sew them together on 3 sides. Take some fiber fill and stuff the pocket until it has a nice even volume. Don't overstuff it. We want him to stay relatively flat but soft. Once you're happy with the feel, sew the 4th side shut to seal the stuffing inside. Repeat this exact process for the 2nd body panel, and now both halves of our bear are padded and ready for the final assembly. It's finally time to put everything together. This is where our bear truly comes to life. Grab your body panels, the arms, and those long ear-leg units. First, place the 2 body panels together with the fabric sides facing each other. Now take the arms and sew them firmly between the layers at the side. Important tip, don't sew them too close to the very edge. We need enough room to crochet around them later. These arms stay fixed in place, but now slip your ear and leg pieces in between the panels as well. These will stay loose so they can slide back and forth. To join the body, we're going to crochet around the entire edge using single crochets. To keep the corners nice and rounded, work 2 to 3 single crochets into each corner stitch. Here is how we create the sliding gaps. When you reach the position for the ears, legs, crochet into the back panel only. This leaves the front panel open, creating a sturdy pocket for the limbs to move through. Also for the arms, only go through the back panels. For all other parts of the edge, crochet through both layers to seal the body. Once you've made it all the way around, fasten off and weave in those ends for a clean finish. And there you go! Your sensory slide and stretch bear is complete. Happy crocheting and thanks for watching!